All right, guys. Happy Friday Eve. Happy Thursday, November 2nd of 2023. I'm still waking up. I got up before 5 a.m., probably close to 4:30 a.m., maybe 4:45 a.m. Not a good idea. I officially got out of bed, like, starting my day at like 6:18 a.m. or so. And started to record. It's 6:35 a.m. right now. Sky's getting a little light blue. Traffic didn't pick up as heavy this morning. Um, I've already had a bit of a portion of some yerba mate. Just drinking some water. I really think I need to go to the gym today. But I don't know. I'm debating. Yesterday, oh man, yesterday I was pretty out of commission yesterday. I kind of had like, a little bit of a stomach situation in the morning. I ate some pho around 11 and then watched a movie probably till about 1 or so. Watched this movie Whiplash about this jazz drummer on Netflix, and then um yeah, after I watched the movie, I kind of stressed me out, but I went to sleep for a little bit for I don't know how long, but I think I fell asleep from like 1 to like 2:30. The night before I didn't really sleep that good. But I feel like last night I slept okay. Like I fell asleep with my phone kind of like screen on. And so when I woke up, it was on. So I just kind of turned it off. And then I realized, I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I woke up, went to the bathroom, and after, like, I was awake for a while though, just laying there. Like, maybe I'll just fall back to sleep. And then, yeah, after I went to the restroom, I was like, maybe I'll go back to sleep. And then it's like 5 o'clock, then it's like 5:30 a.m. and I'm like, I think I went on Instagram around 5 a.m. and messaged some of my friends. And you know, sometimes it's kind of funny because it'll be like, oh, the last message that they sent, it'll be like, because I'm in like this group text thing, and it'll be like, oh, like the last message that they sent, it'll be like, 4 hours ago or something, and it's like it's 5 in the morning, and I'm like responding. So it's kind of weird, but I feel like I slept probably 6 hours or so. I really don't know what time I fell asleep. Um, I sent my mom a text. I was watching a little bit of comedy stand up last night. I sent my mom a text around 9:30 when I was watching something. And so I feel like um that ended probably around 10 or a little before 10 p.m. And then I think I watched something else for about 30 minutes or so. Um, Whatever it was that my phone was open to, um, was what I was watching. The last thing I watched, and then I was dozing off in the middle of that too. I did have melatonin, but it was only like 5 milligrams worth. Let me see if I can open YouTube and have this open at the same time on the app I'm recording on. Oh no, I'm on Wi Fi. I might have to start this recording over because I hate being on Wi Fi because sometimes I lose information. Our household Wi Fi sucks. Um, I'd rather just be on 5G. So All right, let me just save this portion. It's almost 5 minutes of rambling. All right, fix the Wi-Fi situation. All right, so yeah, it looks like I went to sleep around 10. Probably as late as 10:30, but it seems like it was probably 10. I was watching some comedy clips on Dry Bar. One was like 27 minutes. The other was like 3 minutes. So, yeah, I kind of fell asleep watching that stuff. And then, yeah, like I remember being like, oh, I need to turn off my phone screen because I'm kind of falling asleep. And then I guess I didn't turn it off. Um, so yeah, like, uh, so I do feel tired though. So it's kind of hard to tell if I slept enough. Sometimes I have to have the caffeine just to see what happens. Um, so I'm debating for my schedule for this morning. I might get up. I'm gonna finish the podcasting portion of my morning because yesterday my mom was up at like 8 a.m. and I'm like, dude, if she starts waking up at like 8, then I'm gonna start having to like make breakfast around 7 or so, 7:30. Like, I just don't like sharing the kitchen with people, especially in the morning. I like to just be in my own headspace and just cook and like not have to chatter, with people about whatever it is that they're trying to talk about. I'm really kind of particular about what I want to focus on sometimes. So, I do kind of, I am pretty selfish with my energy socially. Um, you know, like I've got a lot on my mind often, so sometimes it's just easier for me to just not split my attention and keep like talking to people when I'm not like trying to talk to them, because once I start, it's like now I'm totally like off track of what I was trying to do. Um, that goes for texting, like everything. It's like once I get on Instagram and start texting people, and I'm like, dude, like I'm not focused anymore. It's kind of the same. Like once I start like, you know, interacting around the house and stuff, and like, if I'm in the mood to be like, if I'm just grabbing a snack and taking a little break, like I don't want somebody like disrupting my, mental peace to try to talk to me about what they got in the mail and who's sick in the family and what's this and that, and not even if it's stressful or not stressful stuff. It's just kind of like, I'm taking a break, a little mental break from what I'm doing, and just kind of unloading my mind. I'm not trying to like reload my mind with like different information. And that's kind of how I feel like it is. It's like if I'm making breakfast or lunch or dinner or something like that, it's like I'm kind of like focused on what I'm doing. Or if I come out and I'm like snacking or something, I'm like, I'm focused on what I was doing. Like while I'm eating, I'm not really like, you know, that focused on like, I'll usually watch something while I eat. Sometimes I won't, but usually I will. But I don't mind that. But you know, like socializing while I'm eating, but I don't really like socializing while I'm cooking or while I'm folding my laundry or while I'm like doing little like things like that. Like it's just kind of like, I'm focused on the task. Like I like to just do the task. It's, enough to just do the task. Like I don't like to distract myself from it. Like I might listen to something in the background, but usually I only do it if somebody else is home just to avoid them trying to talk to me. Like usually that's what it is like I'll put in headphones or put on some Ken Coleman like podcast about like careers or something, or, Dave Ramsey, like something. I'll put on something that's kind of going to be a longer form, episode that I can just listen to and gain some kind of like thought provoking, some kind of knowledge versus like having somebody else talking to me about just stuff that they want to talk to me about. Like I just it's really hard. I don't know. It's really hard for me to like empathize with people who just I don't know how to say it in a nice way, but I feel like I don't like to be the center of someone's social life. Um, like I feel like it's up to everyone. If you want a social life, go get a social life. Like go find people to interact with a lot, that are kind of on the same wavelength, that kind of want to talk about the same things and engage about the same stuff. Um, don't like wait and rely on other people who might not have the energy for that. Um, and I always find it hard to live with people who kind of don't try to have like a social life outside of their house. For me, that's not ideal. It's like a burden for me, honestly. It's like I don't want to be the one that people want to talk to all the time. Like the only person that you see face to face in person for like weeks and months on end. Like to me, I feel like that's not okay. It's not too healthy. And I lived with a whole house full of people like that before. And, it's just not my thing. And like I get it, people get like concerned about COVID or whatever, but it's like or don't want to spend money going out or anything, but that comes at a price too. It's like, we're all kind of social, and if you need to go be social, find a way to go be social, So like there's plenty of stuff around town that's free, You still have to get to it, so there's a little bit of gas that gets spent, but there's like coloring groups for adults, like crafts, knitting, all kinds of things, like at Joann's and like at the libraries. They have all kind of free events where you can just go and interact with other old people and, go do that kind of stuff and socialize that way. Like I don't know what it is about, retired people in their 60s or so. They really like to talk to me, and it's not really my thing. Like I really don't want my primary interactions to be with them. Like I kind of have a whole social life of people my own age that I prefer to be around and talk to and, interact with and go out and do stuff with. Because to me, that's a big key is going out and doing stuff. I'm not a big hang around the house and let's do activities. Like I'm really not into that. Like I kind of like my space when I'm home, and when I'm out, I like to be out doing stuff. So it's really kind of, you know, like I don't know, like it's just one of those things that I think, people on the other end don't really understand that, but there are plenty of people like me that just I'm like I don't feel like I should be obligated to like, socially, help someone, necessarily. Um, if a person's capable of making their own social life, I just feel like it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot when people don't make their own effort to go do it, and then they kind of just rely on other people. And like I think loneliness is like a big thing, but people have to take charge of it themselves. They can't necessarily like rely on people to like fill that if the other person isn't really trying to want to do that, It's like, and I don't know, like I sound like a jerk, but it's really hard for me to like find the energy for people who need. It's just like a needy thing. Like it repels me. Like Aaron Doughty talks about it a lot. Aaron, last name Doughty. He talks about it a lot. Um, at least before he used to talk in these series about needy people, people who are just like needy. And it's kind of more like in romantic relationships, but just in general, friendships and things too. It's like when people are needy, it's really kind of hard to, you know, try to like lean into it. Like for me, it's easier to lean away. It's like, oh man, this is gonna become a burden, you know, like I don't mind helping people. I don't mind like, okay, if it's like your birthday or if it's something and you want to hang out and do something cool. But, I'm really not a everyday, let's sit down and watch a movie together every day. Let's, eat, have meals and do all this other stuff together. And, like there's certain people that I might want relationships like that with, but I would honestly say, when it comes to like parents or aunts and uncles, and like, I don't know, maybe it's like a generational thing. I don't tend to have much of a desire to have like a daily ongoing interaction with people. Um, you know, other than just kind of like hi or whatever, but like I don't like people knowing what I'm doing all the time, and like I just like my space, Um and especially when, if the other party doesn't really have a life or doesn't really have like, if like I don't know, I don't like people doing the whole I live vicariously through you. What have you been doing? Where did you go? What's it like out there? Like what, it's like, well, you go and have your own experiences. Don't get up in my business about what I'm doing, Like I don't really like that, you know, that kind of thing. So it is kind of like a little bit much to kind of be like, okay, like go do your own thing. Like leave me leave me over here to do my own thing. You go over there and do your own thing. Like like I don't know. Like when I live with people, I'm perfectly fine like maybe interacting once a month. Like let's watch a movie once a month or something. Like I really don't need to even do like once a week. That's a lot. Like I'd rather just hang out with my friends and do my own things like once a week or so. Like I just really don't want to do a whole lot of stuff. Um, and partially for me too, it's because sometimes I have people in my life who are connected with other people that I try to kind of keep a distance from. So that's kind of more than half of what it is. It's like, well, the more I'm connected to one person and they're connected to people that I like actively, you know, try to stay away from for my own health, you know, like once it gets to be something like that, it's like okay, like I really just don't want to deal with it, but it's a little bit irritating sometimes, I would say. Um and there is that whole conundrum. It's like, well, I don't really want to hurt people's feelings and be like sounding like a jerk and being like, look, I really just don't want to talk to you like all the time, So I try to kind of make it obvious without being a jerk, but it's kind of like, how do you do that? People don't listen too. Like I don't know how many times I've mentioned that, when I'm cooking and doing things, I don't really like talking, like having conversations, um, because I'm trying to focus on what I'm doing. Like to me, it's one of those tasks that like takes a lot of my focus. Like if I'm chopping this and getting these other veggies out and stuff, and everything's all like spread around the fridge, and I'm like, okay, I want to put this in first and this in second, and like you know, like while this is heating up, I'll saute this or whatever. It's like I don't need like other people like talking to me about other stuff in the background. It's like, dude, like I'm trying to like focus because I easily forget things. I'll be like, dang, I was gonna add chives, or I was gonna go in the fridge and like look to see if there was like meat or whatever and try to like add something different, and it ends up never happening. Um it ends up never happening because yeah, like I forget, because someone's talking to me. So it's like I don't really like my focus being disrupted. So that's really one thing that I'm trying to work with, be patient with. Um, and then just trying to kind of plan out my day in a way that I think will help me feel better. I just don't really know yet so far, like what I'm gonna do. I can't really tell where my energy is still right now. Like I feel alright, but it's because I'm like sitting around the house. I'm not like up being active doing anything. I feel like I've drank enough yerba mate. It's kicked in. I don't feel like I want to drink that much more. I drink about mm, a third ish. So, um, let's see. It was maybe like 46. Is that right? Is that the math on that? It can't be right. It feels like more. Probably closer to 60. I feel like I drank closer to like 60 milligrams of caffeine. It's definitely kicked in. The thing I like about yerba mate though is it's kind of like a positive energy. Um, versus I feel like coffee does give me a crash. Yerba mate does not. And then C4 is great for workouts. Um, but for me the irritability factor with C4 is just really intense. Um, so yerba mate, I like it because it is, it does kind of help with like a positive energy. Like, and that's, I can always use more of that. Like, I feel like, my mindset sometimes can be pretty negative. So, having like a positive energy. I got to catch up with one of my friends yesterday, well, by phone, for like 30 or so minutes. So that was nice. I try to call them early because if I call them late, usually it's like some kind of issue. Like, they're kind of hard to talk to if they're like inebriated. And so I try to call early, like before dinner, because I'm like, okay, at least I'm not busy, they're not busy. Um, so it was nice to catch up, but I don't know, man. I've got a bunch of friends with like car issues right now, and that is a big problem. Trying to get car repairs right now is a big problem. Um, but yeah, I was kind of up this morning, kind of thinking about, okay, how do I want to work on my energy for today? Um, just still trying to gauge and see like, am I really ready to like really wake up? I might have breakfast early and then I'm debating because I wanted to go to the gym before an appointment and then do deliveries after that. But what I might do is, wait till my appointment. Um, maybe, I don't know. I don't really want to do deliveries after and then go to the gym. Because the problem is the appointment ends at like 1. So I'm usually pretty tired. Um, like ready for lunch, and then once I have lunch, it's like I don't want to spend money on lunch. So I might bring lunch with me to the appointment, eat that around 1 while that food is settling, maybe have some C4 and do a delivery or two. I mean, that's a little bit risky. There's a little bit of risk involved with that because of the bathroom issue. Because people who may not know, C4, I don't know if it's the caffeine or what it is, but it makes you kind of easily have bowel movements. And depending on how your intestinal situation might be doing, it might try to clear you out pretty soon. So it's like, and with Uber Eats, you never know what delivery you're going to get. But I feel like if I wait till after the gym, that's going to be too close to the 3 p.m. when schools get out, and um, people might not be. It's going to be too close to the 3 p.m. when schools get out, and uh, yeah, so I think what I'm going to have to do, because I don't want to be delivering around like 3 o'clock, I might have a little lunch, and while it's kind of settling, I'll kind of go do some deliveries. And then once I finish the deliveries, go to the gym. Then I might just have to brave it and drive through the 3 p.m. traffic. If I do deliveries, well, I could do deliveries from 1 to 2:30. Because there's probably not gonna be a whole lot of deliveries anyways. Or I could just stay at the gym a little bit longer. So the issue is when the schools get out over here, it takes forever to get back home. But I could go hang out at the beach or something. It's just gonna be kind of hot today, so it's not gonna be pleasant to be like just hanging out in the car for hours on end. Um, but I might. I mean, I'm already out on Thursdays for an appointment, so I'd kind of rather just stay out while I'm out. And I just try not to like take the car out and like go driving around if I don't already have plans. Even if it is the gym. I like going to the gym and stuff, but sometimes like I'm like let me not just go to the gym, spend that extra gas going to the gym. Like it's not a lot of gas, but the car I'm driving gets probably like 18, 19 miles to the gallon. Maybe even less, but about 18, 19 miles to the gallon. So every approximately 20 miles I drive, um it's costing me about $5 because I get the cheap gas that's like under $5. Um, but it could cost me more if I got the more expensive gas. So I don't know, guys. That's kind of how I feel about it, about everything for this morning. Just kind of trying to make a schedule that makes sense. So I'll probably just stay around the house till I have my appointment at noon. Because if I get up and go to the gym early, I mean, I'm gonna have to go pretty soon, and I kind of have a feeling I might I might need to take a nap after I eat breakfast. I don't know. Um, it's a little frustrating. I'm up, but I don't know if the quality of my sleep is that good. Like I slept, but I might need to get a sleep study now that I've got a lot of these doctor's appointments out of the way. I might need to get a sleep study. Um, I don't really know yet about that, but we'll see. I have an appointment on the 7th, and then after that appointment, yeah, I think we're good. I think I have a friend's birthday the day before that. We're not doing anything, but I'm trying to not forget that. And then, like, I put it in my calendar. And then, on the 17th, I think I'm gonna go to Exchange, LA, and see Jaws. It's a DJ I like, and I think I have plans before that with one of my Hollywood friends. So we're probably gonna have like a late supper around 8 or something, and then I'll go over to the concert and you know hang downtown and do that whole thing. Um, I guess we'll just kind of see how it goes, but I'm trying to get those tickets. I haven't gotten those tickets yet. I'm gonna get those tickets on Sunday. So the only real expenses I have, and my car insurance is coming due, I think, on the 7th or something of November. So that's kind of all I have as expenses at the moment, that I'm trying to get the Uber Eats money to pay that stuff. The car insurance I have to keep active because that's how I make the money that I need here and there. Um, and so yeah, um, I guess that's kind of my plan for today. We'll see. I would love to go to the gym before my appointment and stuff, but I really feel like if I do, I'm really gonna run out of steam. Like I'll be completely out of energy, I think, by 1 o'clock, and I won't want to do deliveries. Versus if I wait, kind of do my computer stuff while I'm in the house this morning, and try to eat an early big breakfast. Um, I guess we'll see, but that's about how my morning is gonna look. Gotta keep hydrating, and that's about it for now.